Hello, welcome to Hymn of the Week. And what a week it has been. A week that has been marked with so much violence and civil unrest. And really, it's been a hard week. And it's gotten me thinking a little bit about protest songs. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to be singing together Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite song of all time. But first, we're going to be looking at the scriptures. And these are Jesus' words in John 16, verse 33. It says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So if you look at any major protest movement, there's always songs that accompany it. In fact, the word protest is in the title of Protestant. The word is in there. And part of the Protestant Reformation was about music and singing. One of the tenets of it was that the reformers wanted people to be able to sing and to worship in their own vernacular. Instead of chanting, they weren't chanting in the bars. And instead of singing Latin, they didn't speak Latin. They wanted to do it in their languages and with music that they understood. In fact, last week we talked about the Genevan Psalter, and in the 16th century, when that was put together, John Calvin, who was another prominent Protestant reformer, John Calvin was the one who supervised that thing being made. So it doesn't matter whether it's abolitionists, the labor movement, women's suffrage, LGBTQ, every war that we've experienced. I even have a collection of hymns and songs of the temperance movement. And if you want to read some really strange lyrics, that's where you can find them, because there's some weird stuff in there. But every single one of these movements has songs that accompany it. So today we're going to be talking about what was Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite song of all time. And it's the song, Take My Hand, Precious Lord. So this song was written by a guy named Thomas Dorsey, and he was born in Georgia, and he was a piano player, and he was a really great jazz and blues musician. And Thomas Dorsey, he moved to Chicago, and he was playing the circuit there and doing his thing, and he had this nervous breakdown, and he has had problems with wanting to commit suicide, but he came out of that struggle loving the Lord, and he wanted to use his music to honor Jesus. And so he started writing music, taking the harmonic language and the rhythms of what he already knew, jazz and blues. And he put it to words that reflected his own Christian experience. And this is why he's known as the godfather of what we call gospel music. And this song in particular has an interesting story. This was a song that was written in 1932, and his wife was pregnant, and he left to sing and lead worship at this revival. And while he was there, he got a telegram after the service, and he looked at it. It said, "Your wife has died." So he's distraught. He goes home and he finds that his wife had passed away, but had given birth to his son. And then that son ended up dying shortly after. And in that pain that Thomas Dorsey was experiencing, he was really, it was just really hard to console him. The song came to him during this time, and I have to recommend this documentary. In this documentary, he tells this story. You can hear him tell this story firsthand. And the documentary is called Say Amen, Somebody. And let me tell you, it's about gospel music. And it is such a joy-filled, beautiful expression. And I highly recommend, if you just need a ray of light in your life right now, go out and watch the gospel documentary, Say Amen, Somebody. And even if you're watching this right now and you're like, well, I don't really like gospel music, or I'm not even a Christian and down with the Jesus thing, I just want you to know that the director of this was like this young Jewish guy who had no idea what gospel music was. He was just intrigued by it. So go check it out. It really is terrific. So when Martin Luther King, he loved this song, especially when Mahalia Jackson, who was a great singer that worked with Thomas Dorsey, when she would sing this song. And in fact, when Martin Luther King died, This song, Mahalia Jackson sang this at his funeral. And then when Mahalia Jackson later died, Aretha Franklin sang this song at her funeral. And in fact, the last words that Martin Luther King Jr. said before he was assassinated was to a musician that was going to be playing at an event that night that he was speaking at. And the last words that he said were, "Ben, make sure you play Take My Hand, Precious Lord in the meeting tonight. Play it real pretty." So that's what we're going to do now. And if I realize this is kind of heavy subject matter, so if you don't want to sing along, that's fine. You can just listen. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am torn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call. Hold my hand lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness appears and the light draws near, and my day is past and gone, at the river I stand. Guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, take me home. Take my hand, precious Lord, take me home. Just want to encourage you to love mercy, do justice, and walk humbly with your God. So we have really loved putting together Hymn of the Week. It's been such a joy to go on this journey and to do that with you. And we thank you for coming along the way with us and for all of your feedback. Just want to let you know that this is the last hymn of the first season of Hymn of the Week. But don't worry, we're taking a short break, and then we're going to come back with Season 2, and there'll be plenty more hymns. There's no shortage of stuff that we can go over. In fact, if you want to leave a comment down below that would let us know any questions that you might have about hymns or hymnody, or if you have any requests about a hymn that you'd like to see us do a deep dive into, we would love to hear that feedback, and we look forward to seeing you at Season 2.